Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Karen Dewey. If you haven't visited my channel before, I started making videos several years ago now. I think it's been about 4 years about my healing journey with neuroplasticity, brain retraining, somatic tracking, stuff like that. I haven't made too many videos in the past year or so. But I'm going to try to start making some again. I'm still on the journey, but I wanted to share something today specifically about safety, because isn't that what it all boils down to? The limbic system gets messed up, it gets stuck in trauma loops from some event or a series of events where the brain gets stuck in fight or flight or freeze or fawn. Either way, it's a hypervigilant state that we find ourselves stuck in. And so ultimately, it's all about safety. It's about self-preservation. Our nervous system is just doing its job, right? To protect us. That's the job of the nervous system, the limbic system, to keep us safe. When it perceives threat, it's going to jump into gear and start throwing out all those hormones, those fight or flight hormones, the adrenaline, um, I'm trying to think of what the other ones are now. Doesn't matter. But we end up getting stuck there. So I recently was watching a movie. It was about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And he said something in the movie that really, really struck me. He was in a situation where he could either stay in the dangerous situation or flee to safety. And I think he at first fled to safety and then realized he needed to go back and face what was going on. But he said something along these lines. It's probably not the exact quote, but he said, safety is a prison. And I thought a lot about that, and I thought about it as far as like what we go through and being stuck in that fight or flight mode, having a brain that's hyper vigilant, always trying to protect us where it perceives threat. And unfortunately, our brains can be threatened by certain foods, certain activities, certain people, certain situations, certain movements. Everybody's different, but it's still the same process of a fearful brain trying to protect the host, right? Trying to protect us, to keep us safe. It's all about safety. And so that quote really struck me. Safety is a prison, or we could say my safety, my own safety has become a prison. And that the worst thing we can do is to keep feeding into it. Our brains might be pushing out symptoms to stop us from doing certain things. If it's food, you're going to get symptoms because you eat a certain thing or you think about eating a certain thing or whatever, and the brain will start giving your body symptoms. You eat the food, you get symptoms, or you make certain movements, you go for a walk, you try to drive, whatever the situation is, and the brain starts putting out symptoms to try to stop us from doing something that it thinks isn't safe for us. And it becomes a prison. I mean, some people get to the point, you may be one of them, that actually ends up stuck in their home. Now they can't even leave the house, or we can't eat certain foods, or we can't drive, or we can't take a walk, or we can't move our bodies in certain ways, or we can't be around certain products or EMFs or whatever. And our life just becomes smaller and smaller, all for safety's sake. And what I'm understanding more and more is that we have to make a decision. We can either let those emotions and fears and stuff continue to torment us and control our lives and keep us imprisoned, or we can learn how to break free from that. And the best thing we can do is to start facing the fear. What are we afraid of? Like for me, I've struggled a lot with the foods. Okay, I'm afraid to eat that because I've been told this about it. I'm afraid to eat that because I've learned, whatever, FODMAPs, histamines, don't mix certain foods together, you're not supposed to eat this, whatever. My body believes it's dangerous for me, so I get all kinds of symptoms when I eat it. And then if you've gotten symptoms before, your brain's going to tell you don't eat that, and then if you do eat it, you're going to get symptoms. But the thing is, we have the power to change that by facing it and dealing with it. So using food for an example, okay, so my brain's going to give me symptoms if I eat that thing that I've been avoiding. So I have to allow that to happen. Just say, okay, I'm facing it. I'm going to eat the food I'm afraid of. I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to expect that there might be a symptom. And regardless of whether there's a symptom or not, I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again until my brain finally goes, oh, okay, that's cool then. She keeps doing it. So we can stop putting out those alerts, those symptoms, And you can apply that to absolutely anything. We have to face it. We have to stop avoiding it. Even if we get the pain, even if we get the digestive issue, even if we feel dizzy or whatever the symptom is, we have to keep going back to it until we teach the brain that it is not dangerous. So even though it feels like we don't have control, because once that initial fight or flight response comes in, because that's automatic, we have to not react to that. We have to take over that prefrontal cortex part of the brain, decision making and calming and all that, and we have to say, nope, okay, I'm getting symptoms right now, but I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to eat that anyway. I'm going to keep walking, or I'll sit for a minute and then I'm going to get back up and keep walking, or whatever it is. But we can't keep giving in to the fear, because then that becomes something we're going to lose. Our brain is going to keep tormenting us, even though it's trying to protect us. We have to be stronger than that initial response that our brain gives us by overriding it and saying, nope, I'm doing it anyway. So I just thought that quote really kind of says it to me, that safety, my own safety, has become a prison. And I know the nervous system is just doing its job, but it's gotten hypervigilant, and so it can become a prison for us. So I just wanted to throw that out there and share that. And I hope this helps some of you with maybe a little bit of encouragement to not let the fear continue to control your life. Don't let the need for safety become a prison. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.